Okay, wow. Great to see you all here. And welcome here to launch of Responsibility Design Manifesto. You are so many here and also online. You are warmly welcome. My name is Tarja Kaarina Laamanen, and I'm responsibility specialist. I've had the privilege of working with Responsibility Circle at Ornamo. We've had a really intensive work with this manifesto. Last year has been truly great. I want to thank you, the whole group. Okay, let's look at our program briefly. Soon we will hear the opening words by Katja Soini, chair of the Ornamo board. Then an introduction to the Ornamo Responsibility Circle will be provided by Milja Havusela and Anna Kokki. After that, Angelos Arnis will give us a keynote about the core topic of this event, the manifesto. And the program ends with the panel discussion, moderated by Zeynep Falai von Flittner and panelists Idir Kasilusoi, Emma Berg, Linda Vanni and Sauli Laitinen. After the panel, you, the audience, have the possibility to ask questions from the moderator, panelists and composers of the manifesto. Okay then, let's start and welcome Katja Soini to the stage.
Thank you, and hello everybody. It's truly a pleasure to be here and welcome again. Some words from my part and how I see what we have been doing. I think this work, what we are presenting today, is really, really important. Just some things and some thoughts behind it. When I think of design, I think that design is something that is always kind of embedded in society, and we always have a role in society. And if we go a bit back, like 100 years ago or something, a little bit more, Ornamo was established in 1911, and since then I think we have been working to kind of contribute to the society, to the betterment of the world. And if we start from the beginning, I think what we were doing was that we kind of helped to frame or to create the Finnish national identity. Here's an example from the railway station, Helsinki railway station. And as you know, at that point when we designed something, it was the whole building, the interior, the furniture, lighting and everything. And that was a style of that, and it was really, really important part of Finnish society, Finnish identity, before we were even independent. And then after the wars, we had to reconstruct the society, and we also built the industrial identity. And it was the golden era of Finnish design. Everybody knows the Finnish design. It goes back to that in the 50s or 60s or around that time. And here you know that what I'm presenting here, it's Kai Frank's Kilta tableware, or Teema, as it's called nowadays. And they are still something that we really well know. They are part of our lives and our everyday lives. In the 1990s, there was a recession, which was really, really bad, great recession, and we had to go through a really big industrial restructuring. If we had earlier on built the industrial identity, then almost all the industrial manufacturing was kind of moved abroad. And it was a big change in Finnish society. And what we started to do in design was we started to look at user needs. We started to do user-inspired design, user-centered design, a little bit like digital design and so on, and also a bit more international business. It was a big change also. And to jump today, this day that we are standing here is that we talk about many different big things that we are facing. If we look outside, we know that everything is not okay. It shouldn't be +3 or something. in the end of January, and it's serious. United Nations talks about triple crisis. So we have climate change, we have biodiversity loss, we have pollution, and all of that is affecting our lives. Last year was actually the first year that we exceeded the 1.5 degrees, above the 1.5 degrees before pre-industrial era. And it's only happening again and again. So that's what we can experience. So these are serious things. If we look at the World Economic Forum risks report from this month, there was also some things they were talking about misinformation and disinformation. They were talking about social polarization. They were talking about geopolitical instability. So there are so many things happening that are affecting our lives. In my day work, I'm working at AFRY, which is one of the largest engineering and expert companies or consultancies in Finland. I'm a strategy and sustainability director. And it's been really interesting to follow and look at our clients during the past years. I think it was maybe 2, 3, 4 years back. I think many clients were like saying when I started to talk about sustainability, they were like, yeah, maybe somebody else is doing that. Maybe somebody else is buying or have to pay for the whole thing. But it was actually last year we did a big client survey or client research, and we learned that now they are kind of holding their hands in front and saying, please tell me what's your solution. It's really a huge change that is happening. So there's a lot of demand that we are seeing. And when we are talking about design, I think what is really important at these times is that we have hope. I think design is bringing hope. This is something that we need, definitely. And I start from our strategy that we have been updating at Ornamo. There are some words down there, but what we believe is that designers are the drivers for change, for sustainability. And this is really important that we can see ourselves like that. We have to take that kind of position and stance and role, and we can innovate with others solutions that in this resource or more resource-wise society. And this is something we are working for at Ornamo. And we really are interested, kind of happy about this, what we are talking today, because this is exactly what should be happening. We also published was it this week or something, the Ornamo study towards tangibility, which is presenting drivers and challenges for sustainability and sustainability transformation. But it also presented skills that we designers have already or we should have. So there are really kind of tangible tools how we can go on and do this, make this happen, the magic happen that we have to make it today. And going to this day, this moment, I think the most interesting thing in the end is all of you, all of us here, because we are the people who are making it. And this Ornamo Responsibility Design Manifesto is exactly that. It's a call for collective action. All of us can do something. I can do as a leader, but if you're a designer, designing products, digital solutions, interiors, organizations, materials, whatever, you can apply that thinking. You can start exploring, learning, trying out, and make change happen. And I really encourage everybody to be brave in this journey. I think it's really, really important. Before we continue, I really would like to thank all the good work that you have been doing in the Responsibility Circle. And Tarja Kaarina, thank you very much. And all of you who have been working for this. And all of you who are coming here today and taking your time and really wanting to learn, because I believe that's why we are here. We want to learn and we want to make an impact. So, all my best to this, whatever we are doing together. Let's make it happen. Let's be brave. Let's do it together. Thank you.
Okay, then please welcome Milja Havusela and Anna Kokki for presenting Ornamo Responsibility Circle.
Hello from my behalf as well. Nice to see you all here. And with Milja, we will tell a little bit about the Responsibility Circle, what it is, and what we do in this group. But first, we shortly introduce ourselves. So, I'm Anna Kokki. I work as a freelance designer at the moment. And I'm studying for my second master's degree in urban studies and planning. And this group was created when, back in 23, I asked from Ornamo that is it possible to have this kind of peer groups in Ornamo. I was working with a grant a lot times alone, and I was kind of missing other people to talk about these things. And it was possible, and Milja was one of the people who joined me in starting this group, actually.
Hi everyone. My name is Milja Havusela, and I'm also a designer. I have mainly worked within footwear, health, sports segments. I've been doing also some UI UX design and very passionate about all things sustainable. And when I saw Anna looking for people to join this group, I thought that, hey, this is exactly what's been missing from my career, from my sort of group. I needed to have a community where I can share the ideas, and this was spot on. A little bit about Ornamo. I think that Katja did such a wonderful presentation that this slide will just skim through fast. But I think it's nice to know that Ornamo is sort of the umbrella under which we work. And there's 3,000 members. It's our community. It gives us this advocacy, and it's advance in the design industry. And I think it's a great organization to belong to. In Ornamo, luckily, we are allowed to create these groups. And you can see a list here, which seems to be ever growing. There's new interest groups forming. And these interest groups are based on volunteers. So, such as us, we are volunteering to do this on our own time. And it's been super rewarding to be a part of. You can see loads of different kinds, because Ornamo speaks to a wide range of different kinds of industries and different kinds of designers. So different groups are needed. So all members can initiate those, and they are run by the volunteers. But then we have people such as Tarja Kaarina who are, helping us facilitate and hosting all these things. So what is Ornamo Responsibility Circle? We are a bunch of very versatile, very diverse people. Some of us I have just met live here today the first time. Not many of us knew each other since we started, but we have gotten to know each other, and we have realized that actually, a lot of the things and the struggles that we have, they're the same, regardless of which industry you are in. We talk about the same struggles and same topics. Some of us are seasoned professionals, some of us are young, emerging, some of us are studying. But what we share is this need to come together, to share ideas, to share, different sort of ideas around this, and work together to build these things. We have about 30 members currently. and hoping that we'll get much more, because I think that there is power when there's lots of different kinds of people talking together. And by the way, we do this in English because we want to make sure that there is a diversity in the group. So even if you're not very familiar with Finnish, then don't be shy. Come and let's connect. So why? I think that I spoke a lot about already that sort of need that you might have your colleagues, you might have teams that you work in, but sometimes as a designer, at least I have felt that it can be quite lonely to try to push these agendas. I feel like we often are the ones having to drive it, and it can be very lonely. So it's nice to come together, share sometimes just the frustrations, that's good as well, to have a place for that, but also to share these best practices, share ideas, find out together what it is that we don't yet know. What could we know? How could we learn? Who could we ask? We work very organically and come up with the topics ourselves. So I think it's been very rewarding to be able to work on these topics. And I think that it's such a great thing today to be presenting the manifesto that we've all been working very hard on. And I look forward to hearing after this presentation what it is that you think about all this. This is about coming together, same as Katja said. This is not about any one of us alone. It's about us doing it together. So I hope that we have nice conversations after this.
We asked in our chat from the members why they have joined, and I will read few of these now. I'm in this group because it is impossible to change things by oneself. We need collaboration across industries. It was important to connect with like-minded designers who want to actively shape the design discipline. I find groups such as these important for peer support, sharing knowledge, and establishing a united front for facilitating change. ORC serves as a forum to collectively make sense of the systemic challenges and a platform for collaboration towards sustainable practices step by step. Having a way to contribute, learn more, and find strength in numbers outside your day-to-day work made me join and continue. I can develop my skills in these topics further and educate myself on how others approach this topic in their daily work. I think these show well what we have been talking here. There are different reasons to join, and but there is this one thing that comes, that it's important to also kind of think together. The group has been working about 1.5 years. We've had different kinds of events. We have more like sharing knowledge, having presentations and case studies, and then more relaxed after work gatherings. And for this spring, we are planning to have a company meeting with NEMAR, job hunting and responsibility themed evening for the members, 3 Horizons workshop, and also a manifesto workshop for all who have signed. And these events show up in the Ornamo event calendar. So how to join? All Ornamo members can join at any time. You just need to be interested on the topic. We have our channels to follow discussion and to organize. And as Milja said, it's been quite organic, and we are developing, and we are open for ideas how to also make it better. And but as this is volunteer work, resources are different, and so you can always come come to events, take part in discussions, or if you have more time, become an active member and initiate events together with others. So I welcome everyone to the group, and I hope look forward to the discussions tonight and in the future. Next, we will hear more about the manifesto, which is very exciting, and thank you.
Thank you.
Yes, indeed. Please welcome Angelos Arnis to present our keynote about manifesto.
Thank you very much. Thanks everyone for being here today. We were just discussing just before we started that kind of like, this has been a lot of work between the group. And of course, as Anna just mentioned, it's been voluntary work, of course. So we do this not because there's some sort of like, monetary gain or anything like that, but it's something that we deeply care about. And it's so nice to see all of you also coming here today and sort of, care about, to listen to what we say at least, and hopefully become part of this, by joining later on. We're going to talk also about, how can you help. So this was the team. We sort of mentioned this already, but that was me here, Anna and Milja, you just saw, Adi over there, and Tarja Karina, who also helped us with pretty much everything that was also like, operational. So thanks for that, and kind of like, being able to present this also, for example, to the board and get the board's approval. Like it was a really, really good process and a lot of like learnings. So let's start with a story first. This is how I like to start usually presenting, but this story also connects very well to our topic today, responsible design and sustainability. So in 1972, a team of MIT scientists, young MIT scientists, made a prediction that would shake the world as we know it, and especially the economic world as well. So they warned that unlimited growth on a finite planet would lead to collapse by the mid-21st century. Led by Dana Meadows, a brilliant systems thinker, the team combined cutting-edge computer modeling and environmental science to create the first global sustainability study of its kind. The result of that was the groundbreaking work that was called The Limits to Growth, a book and a study that was published, and it was bought by 30 million people, 30 copies sold at the launch of the event. And it also sort of like, helped to launch a global environmental movement that we might know it also as today. So they use this revolutionary approach called systems dynamics, and they use also MIT's most advanced computers to create this model called World 3, which basically this model simulated a lot of different interconnectedness between population, industrialization, pollution, food production, and resource depletion. And what's interesting when they shared this kind of like a response and when they shared the studies and everything else, basically the response was laughter. They laughed at them, they told them that they were crazy, and they told them, let the adults handle the economy. Well, we know that the adults sort of didn't know what they were doing now. And basically, despite this fierce opposition from industry and from economists, their central message is quite prescient today, as we all kind of like, stand here in the midst of environmental challenges and quite frankly, climate emergency. So today we face this, what we call polycrisis. We talked about 3 different crises and so on. It's also called polycrisis. There's also meta-crisis. There's a lot of different crises going on. But Dana's vision for sustainable future shows us that this kind of work that we are also trying to do here is more relevant than ever. Her works remind us that the future doesn't have to be exactly what it is right now. We can still shape it if we sort of kind of like, come together. And we as designers, we sort of need to choose a different path if we want to kind of like, to evolve our profession to do something better. The polycrisis refers to simultaneous occurrence of different kinds of interconnected crises that they're interlinked together as well. How many of you have not heard the term polycrisis before? It looks that we are the right group here. Nice, no one has not heard it. Okay, good. But let's draw it a little bit in our heads so that we have all kind of like, we are grounded in the same space together. So a pandemic strikes, for example, while climate change worsens. While we try to recover from the pandemic, economic recession hits during a period of geopolitical turmoil. Food shortages occur alongside energy crises. Climate emergency causes droughts, leading to more food shortages. Food shortages cause political unrest. Political unrest makes it harder to address climate change. And so it appears, again, that once more than ever, we as designers, we sort of need to think how we do things, and we need to sort of shape the profession in a way that it's going to be more fit for the future. And so what we sort of define it is kind of as responsible design. Responsible design is an ethical approach that harnesses design's transformative power to benefit the planet, society, and future generations, while actively preventing harm, ensuring that outcomes are not only functional, but also regenerative and equitable across all scales of impact. Just as Dana and her team showed us that with their work that things can be different and we can change course, we are now asked to redefine what it means to be a designer in the planetary emergency. So we need a shift in how we view our role. When we understand that 80% of products' ecological footprint can be calculated and possibly avoided during the design phase, we now more than ever understand that we're not simply creators. We can actually, influence the future of products, but also not only products and services. We can go beyond that. And so why do we need a manifesto? In order to do what we want to do, we need more than good intentions. We need a clear foundation and trajectory so that we can come together for collective action as designers. And this manifesto can be seen as sort of like a compass. It's not kind of like, a golden book that's going to show you how to revolutionize everything, but it's a compass, and it becomes a positive force for you to sort of kind of like, inspire yourself, come together with others, and do something. It unites us. There's sort of like, certain values and principles so that we can all together, do something about not only the climate crisis, but everything else. But we cannot do this alone. Design is only part of the puzzle. We speak to people like designers, of course, because designers are us, first of all. All kinds of designers, new designers, older designers, older meaning kind of like,